Broadway's brightest live. Why spend Thursday nights drunk in a dive? They're friends with Rye, and he's the Broadway guy. He's your Broadway entertainment BFF. It's Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway. He's a vessel of joy and happiness. He loves being here. He's a theater nerd who will share a word with a Broadway star.
Different parts. Here we go.
Our guest will have you on the floor for fame and empty and many more. Rye Myers, the gay Rye Secret, the Broadway entertainment BFF. It's Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway.
There we go. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Rye Myers, and welcome to Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway, the only free in-person Broadway talk show here in the heart of Hell's Kitchen. How's everyone doing? Woo! And let's put your hands together for this theme song, this incredible theme song. I have to give credit. Thank you to the incredible writer who's actually here tonight, Jay Rancato, who wrote the lyrics, the composer, Jeffrey Schmelkin, and it's sung by the incredible Alyssa Ray from American Idol 2020. She was in the top 9, so give them a round of applause. So for those of you watching at home and here, you may realize I'm in a new venue. And if you didn't tune in on Thursday, exciting news. I am so happy to make this my debut episode, or the kickoff of my official first night here at the Broadway Makers Marketplace. Every Sunday around 6:30, we'll be live with Rye and Friends on Broadway, home to the Broadway Makers Marketplace, which has over 40 plus vendors and handmade items you can't find anywhere else, for fans, by Broadway fans, and I am so happy to be here. Tonight's sponsor is Broadway Bazaar, which is one of the awesome makers here, and I'm going to read a little bit about Broadway Bazaar. The Broadway Bazaar is the first online market for unique Broadway memorabilia and one-of-a-kind souvenirs and handcrafted items. Popular items include Broadway ornaments, playbills, posters, show props, autographed souvenirs, Broadway-themed party decorations, and so much more. So excited for Broadway Bazaar to be a sponsor tonight. And come trivia time, they're giving away some awesome prizes. So they're giving away some playbills from throughout the decade. You can choose 5 playbills, so from the 50s through now, and posters. And then I'm giving away a pair of tickets for Color Girls from now through their previews on the 19th, and then a pair of tickets to my girls. Lots of girls, to my girls at Second Stage off Broadway, starring J. Armstrong Johnson, Britton Smith. I'm very excited. So welcome to my kickoff episode. I'm so happy to have all of you here and all of you at home. So usually what I do at this time is now I do a little Broadway news right at the top of the show, talk about what's happening in the industry. This week it's been some exciting things going on. First and foremost, I don't know if you know this, but the Broadway Grand Gallery is now open in Times Square. Has anyone been in Times Square in the last few days? So I hate it, and I avoid it like the plague, and I know we all do. But if you get the chance, go, because between 47th and 48th, there are 21 shows on 11 oversized playbill monoliths. These things are like 10 feet tall. They have shows that are currently playing, and it's just really cool. And it's part of it's through June 15th, and it's between 47th and 48th. It's really awesome. You can see like exclusive things. Playbills sponsored it. It's really neat. So I'm going probably this week, but if you have to be in Times Square, go see it because it's definitely worth it. And you can take your picture from like a 10-foot playbill, which is pretty awesome. And I'm sure we all know this, but Friday, Beetlejuice actually opened back up again, and it's a new home with the very round of applause for Beetlejuice. Yes, I'm very excited. I'm actually have tickets for that tomorrow. Has anyone seen it since it reopened 2 days ago? Anyone? Anyone have tickets for it coming up?
I saw it pre-Broadway.
Pre-Broadway? Okay.
Pre-shutdown.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm sure you'll be able to get your tickets. It's highly anticipated, and let's hope it runs longer than most of the other shows that have been at the Marriott Marquis these last few years. I'm sure it will, because not many shows have lasted there. But
they're making the movie.
Yeah, they're making the movie, right. So I'm excited for it, and I think it'll be really well. Apparently, they've started super late these last few nights because they've been letting everyone in. Like, it's taking so long for everyone to come in. So it's clearly off to a hit. I'm excited to see it in a smaller venue, and we'll see what comes of it. Hangman has started previews on Friday as well. And if you recall, before COVID, Hangman was here and it starred Dan Stevens and Mark Eddy, if you remember from Downton Abbey and from Game of Thrones. It's back with a brand new cast, and the new cast includes the lead, Alfie Allen, if you like Game of Thrones, Theon Greyjoy, yes, is in it, and I saw that last night. It's absolutely hysterical. You must see it if you like comedy. It's a dramedy. Go in with your listening ears. I'll know the accents are really heavy. I wish they had subtitles, but it's really funny, and it's a limited time. And finally, we are getting a cast recording from Mrs. Doubtfire. So I have to, yes, give that a round of applause. I'm very excited. I haven't heard when it's coming out, but they were in the studio the other day. So they reopened this week, and we're going to get a cast recording. So I'm very excited. And with that, I'm very excited now to welcome my special guest. He is someone who, if you don't know him, you should. He is a true word when you say child prodigy. He's 15. He has written an off-Broadway musical. He's written a single. There is nothing. He plays over 11 instruments. There is nothing this kid can't do. And I am so happy to have him here as my guest. He has a podcast here right before me called The Early Night Show with Joshua Turchin. Please help me welcome my very special guest, Joshua Turchin! Woo! Hey, bud. Hey, Joshua. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Doing well. So nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, too.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. As I've said, you have just an incredible career. And so I ask everyone, and I'm curious with you, how did you get your start in performing? And I know you lived in Florida before here, did you make your way up from Florida because of performing?
Yeah. So I started, actually doing music when I was 6. And it was with my piano teacher. My piano teacher saw I had ear for music, so she went, I think you should start singing. And then the singing led to acting, and then dancing, and then we came to New York for 2 weeks during 2015, and I ended up getting cast in my first professional show, which was A Christmas Story on Tour, and we never left.
That's pretty amazing. Wow, so you've been here ever since.
Yeah, we've been here 8 years now. Almost 8 years. It's kind of crazy to think about.
That is crazy to think about. 8 years, what a time flies, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah. It feels like it's only been a year, but it's been a while, and it's been some of the best years of my life.
So you were in the Christmas Story tour. What was the role that you played in the Christmas Story tour?
So I did the tour for 2 years. My first year I played Randy, who was the younger brother, and my second year I played Boy Swing. I understudied every single child role in the show, except for Marcus, I think. It was a lot of work. It was really fun. I have a funny story.
Yes, tell.
It was the first preview. We were doing our first preview. I forgot where it was. But I was so sick. I was so sick during the first preview and the days leading up because there's a change of altitude, and also I so sounded like this. So I set up my computer in the dressing room. I had a tea, I had a steamer, because as a swing you're not on that much.
Right.
So I walk back to my room, and suddenly I see the entire wardrobe team and the associate director running towards me, and they go, Josh, you're going on for Schwartz today. You're going on for Schwartz. And I'm just there and with my really congested voice with blood, and I had no voice, so I did the entire show like this. And the thing about swings is that you never rehearse. It was the first movie, so I didn't even get to do quicklies or anything. So it was definitely a really fun experience. I ended up going on for Schwartz a lot of times after that.
That's insane. And being so young and being a swing, what did that teach you about performance as you continue to grow and get into more roles? Because as you said, swing is really tough for anyone, but especially when you're just starting out, and to do that is talent. So what did that teach you?
Theater is live, and you have to go on with the show truly, because there was a time during rehearsals for my first true swing experience where the first week something happened and I needed to quickly go in without ever being rehearsed for it. So it was definitely really, really cool experience to learn that Swims are a very important part of musical theater. They're truly the backbone of because without swings, there would be no show.
You've got that right, and we've learned that more than any of these last few months for sure. So you are a true multi-hyphenate in all senses of the word. Your many hyphens include also a composer, and just 15 written and composed a full-length off-Broadway musical called The Perfect Fit, and you've composed and written several other things. So how did composing and writing come about? Was this something you picked up? I said earlier, you think you know 11 instruments? I mean, this is not normal in the best way possible. So did you teach yourself? Was this something, did you come from a musical family?
So I guess I can say maybe from a sort of musical family of mine. Well, musical in the sense that I grew up surrounded by Broadway, which definitely had an impact on my musical style and what I grew up to do. My dad, growing up, would always play piano around me, and then I started picking up some piano, and then I actually started taking lessons, and quickly realized I could do things by ear. And then I would hear these notes in my head that I wanted to do, and I was able to plug it out. And then I started writing my first songs, which were love songs. Were they good? Probably not. I was 5 years old, but everyone. Something that was really important that was told to me that you should not hate the songs that you write from a young age because it shows your progress as a composer. And that's pretty much how I started. And I just kept writing and taking classes and working with other composers. And actually recently I worked with the incredible Victoria Shaw. If you don't know her, make sure to look her up. She has co-written with Lady A, Garth Brooks, and we wrote a song together called Doesn't Make You Feel Better, and it's out now, which is really cool, and we're actually releasing a new one very soon.
Very exciting, yes, and you will hear that song shortly when you play it for us. Very exciting, very exciting. Now, Jason, I didn't realize you played piano a little bit.
He was better than me when he was 5.
No.
Which is true.
Wow. Well, I didn't know you. That's wow. That's a real big skill to pick up. I have to say, I wish that I took piano through middle school, and I stopped after middle school when I got to high school because I know I don't have time. It's the one instrument I wish I continued because it's a beautiful, beautiful instrument. That's what everyone says. I know, but I got so much on my plate. But it's beautiful. I sometimes will sit there and have YouTube open when I'm at home and try to play something, and then I'll sit there for 3 hours and learn it, and then a week later I forget.
Oh yeah, that's what happens. There would be times where I'm like, okay, I'm learning this melody, I'm learning this really cool riff, and then an hour later I take a break and I come back and I'm like, what did I just do? What did I just do? It's an instrument where you need to write everything down or else you will forget it.
Yeah, I agree. Does anyone here play instruments? Anyone play instruments at all? What do you play?
I also play multiple instruments. I majored in bassoon for a year in college.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, but I was a woodwind specialist, and I learned all the brass instruments as well, and I was a percussionist for many years, so.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Any instruments?
Violin.
Oh, okay, that I'm so jealous of. My beautiful instrument as well.
I cannot play violin for the life of me. I've tried, and we actually ended up getting a violin because I really wanted to start taking lessons, and the second I got the violin, the string broke, so then we had to wait a year to get it fixed and get another string, and then I can't do it. It's a hard instrument.
Yeah, it seems like a hard instrument. It's beautiful. I love the sound of a violin, but it's definitely tough. Now, when you were in Florida, did you see a lot of shows down there? Did you see a lot of theater? Were you exposed to a lot of shows?
Yeah, I was. We would see shows all the time at the Broward Center. My first show I ever saw was Grease. I was 3. Funny story I was 2 years and 10 months. Not to the day. Well, no, literally to the day. My sister had been born, and my mom had gotten tickets beforehand to go see Grease. And so things happened, and we ended up seeing Grease, which was fun. And another funny story, at the Broward Center when my sister was older, because I have a younger sister, and we went to go see Lion King. It was her first show that she's ever seen. And finish Act 1, it goes great. We see Act 2, like 5 minutes into Act 2, get an announcement saying, "Excuse me, unfortunately we will have to pause performances tonight because the entire theater is flooded." So my sister has seen Lion King 2.5 times.
Oh my gosh, that is one of the books that, I mean, nowadays you're used to hearing that announcement of like, okay, it was COVID or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But a flood, oh my God, man.
Well, I mean, growing up in Florida, the weather is horrible.
Yes.
I've been in LA for the past few months, and it's so nice, and it's warm. It's like the perfect temperature usually, and it's just because it's a desert, so there's no rain. The rain is very rare. And then you go to Florida, and it's raining like literally every other day.
Yup.
If that, because usually like it thunderstorms every single day. So floods are very common, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't live in Florida. I can't deal with that weather. It's too hot. That's insane. So, getting back to what we were talking about earlier with your single, you released your first single, Does It Make You Feel Better, right? I love this song. It's beautiful. I really recommend everyone here and watching, download it, listen to it. Wherever you stream your music, it is just beautiful. Where did the inspiration come for this song?
So, in the beginning of the pandemic, going into it, I was in a show, and unfortunately, the show, like, we were about to start tech, and then lockdown. So we weren't able to do that. And about a year ago, some people started really bullying me. And I was trying to figure out something to write with Victoria. And we eventually settled on the idea, like, we were like, okay, well, we have a bunch of ideas, but let's stick on this one about the bullying for a second. We talked, we said, we made a bunch of points basically on how bullying made us feel, how we reacted to it, what we're doing, and eventually we came up with the idea, the phrase, "Does it make you feel better?" And we ran with it and wrote the song.
I love that, but it's also so sad that somebody would bully you. That, I mean, people are cruel. And you know that now, and as you get older, you'll see even more people are terrible. But the fact that somebody as talented as you had to go through that, I mean, I was a victim of bullying myself for years, and I know it. I used to write songs, not intending music, but I used to write songs to help me. So I appreciate where that, you using that sort of as that mechanism. But what would you say to people who are struggling right now with bullying, and whether they're creatives or not, and to get that out there for them to be able to express themselves and how they're feeling?
Yeah, I would say that it will eventually stop. What you need to do is ignore them. Because if you continue to listen to them, things will only get worse. Unfortunately, that's what I had to learn, because by ignoring them, it basically, at least mentally, takes away the power you feel the bully has over you. And also, if you're feeling any anger, leave that just right. Writing anything that comes to your mind really helps. A song, a poem, a story, things like that definitely help.
Well, I can tell you this. I mean, those people who did that, they're certainly not where you are, and never will be, and that's their loss, because you are, yeah, exactly, you are so talented, and I'm assuming wherever they are is not where you are, and will never be, because you are talented. So, I'm so sorry that you went through that, but they're lost because it's terrible. What was the recording process like for recording this song? And I ask that because for those who might want to, record on their own and sort of do their own music, what advice would you offer? I mean, it does seem so easy today. Anybody can go on and record, but there are some people, I'm sure, like, well, how do I get on Spotify? How do I record my music? So what was that process like in recording it? Because I assume probably had it during the pandemic, right? Or was the lockdown?
Yeah.
So what was that like?
So we actually recorded it a few months ago, like November. Yeah. It was a very, very cool experience because we got a studio to do it in, and it was mostly just Victoria and I going back and forth, going, okay, this party is selling this party is selling this, we need to redo this part because it doesn't sound the way that we wanted it to sound. And it was just that constantly going back and forth, making sure that it was what we wanted to put out to show our writing skills. And I think it turned out pretty well.
I would say it's beyond pretty well. I think it's incredible. I mean, really, it's beyond. Well, I'm just going to wait a little bit longer while we're on it. Let's hear the song. Let's play it for us, and here it is. Take it away.
Thank you. Let me close the shoes and quickly.
No, you're good. You folks are in a real treat with this.
Why do you hate me? Why do you tease me? Why can't you see me who I am? What is it about me that you somehow feel the need to break me down, make me doubt myself? Is that help? Does it make you feel better knowing that someone else feels so bad? It's so sad. I think it must be exhausting carrying all that hate inside. Can you tell me why? When you make somebody cry, does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel better? There was a time when I thought we could be friends. That's just me. I can be so naive. You played your games and the joke is on me. Does it make you feel better knowing that someone else feels so bad? That's so sad. I think it must be exhausting carrying all that hate inside. Can you tell me why when you make somebody cry? Does it make you feel like a big shot, like a winner, telling lies in little whispers? Somebody must have really hurt you a long time ago. 'Cause I wanna know, does it make you feel better knowing that someone else feels so bad? So sad. Oh, I think it must be exhausting carrying all that hate inside. Can you tell me why when you make somebody cry? Does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel better?
Wow! Yeah, keep a round of applause for it. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Just beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me perform.
Of course, it is. I listen to that, and I'm sure a lot of us who have gone to bullying sort of brings back that time. But for me, listening to it brings back sort of at those times, and the words for me were almost healing because it was, there's still a lot of unresolved, trauma that you still carry with you after many years, and after years of going through it. And you summed it up perfect. Does it make you feel better? Does it make? It's perfect. You are a true genius, really. It's beautiful. And now, obviously, I don't want you to spoil it, but can you tell us? You said you read another song. Can you give us what's that about, or what that is? Or?
Anxiety. That is all I will say for now.
Perfect. Anxiety. Well, I think it's going to be great, and also another good topic to write about, because Lord knows we all have that. So we're here at the Broadway Makers Marketplace, and you are one of their #1 supporters. So how did you get involved with the Broadway Makers Marketplace, and what do you love most about it?
So I was contacted by the Broadway Makers Marketplace in December for their Hanukkah event that they did. They wanted me to perform, and then one thing led to another, and I would come here daily to play the piano, and I've come here very often, and recording the Early Night Show from here, which is a podcast I do. It's really fun. You can watch it at theearlynightshow.com. And yeah, we've just been doing a lot of really fun things here. My favorite thing in the store, the dog book. There's a book, but it's just a bunch of Broadway shows as dogs. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this seize the day. Look at this dog. I came here the first day and I fell in love with this book and I ended up buying it. I'm probably gonna buy it again for one of my friends because everyone look at this. Wait. There's the prom as dogs. This is the first time I've ever seen Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And an actual book. I love that show.
This is what you get here, folks, in the Broadway Makers Marketplace.
It's adorable.
Unlike anything else, a dog book based on musical theater and so much more.
It's exclusive to here.
It's exclusive to here, 40+ vendors. You can't find this stuff anywhere else. So please shop around if you're here. For those watching, you can go online, BroadwayMakersMarketplace.com, right? /shop.
.store.
BroadwayMakersMarketplace.store, and you can shop everything there as well. It's so cool, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I'm so excited as well. And it's great you mentioned your podcast because I was going to mention that. So during the pandemic, when there was no theater, you started this podcast, correct? The Early Night Show.
Yeah. So I used to do it in person at as a cabaret before the pandemic. I did it for 2 years before it, and then you're going to do another one, and then COVID, and so we had to quickly figure out what to do. And basically, I finished rehearsals for the show I was doing. Well, forcibly finished because we all had to not be a part of it because COVID. And we instantly got to work doing the Early Night Show virtual edition, Corona Cabaret. That was the original title, and then we just dropped the Corona Cabaret to make it completely the Early Night Show virtual edition. Fun fact, I believe it was one of the first virtual cabarets.
Really?
One of the first virtual shows.
Wow.
One of the first shows to go virtual, which is really cool. And we've had some really cool guests on it, like Laura Benanti, so many really, really cool Broadway people and composers, and then we ended up bringing it back last April, a year ago now, and then now we're moving it completely to here.
Yes. Here, and it's every Sunday 4 to 6, right?
Yeah.
And it's free to come, so come on. You can see you get some incredible stars, and you can watch the live podcast and be a part of it. It's really cool. It's every Sunday. And when do episodes usually drop each week or each month?
Once every 2 weeks or so.
2 weeks. Exciting. And who's coming up that you can tell us about, or the upcoming episodes?
So someone really cool though who's coming on soon is Presley Ryan from Beetlejuice. We have recently Audrey Bennett from Frozen on Broadway and Amelie, Max Bartos from Sing Street on Broadway, Zoe Glick from Frozen on Broadway, and The Bedwetter, and Emily Zimmerman from The Bedwetter, and some really, really cool people.
Really cool people indeed. And Joshua, I have to say, you are such a great interviewer, and I love watching the live streams I've been here. You've been talking to these people. There's so many fun conversations, and the way he does his podcast, it's almost you're like a mini Seth Rudetsky because you have the music, you play, it's wonderful. So make sure you listen. So now we're going to do some Broadway trivia. This is one of my favorite. Yes, a round of applause. This is one of my favorite parts of my show. So how this is going to work? I have 4 questions. I'm going to say the question. Because we have people here, raise your hand, and if you get it correct, you get a prize. You are allowed to play, yes. I would say you're welcome to. Sometimes the guests are like, I don't want to play. You're more than welcome to play. What I'm giving away, as I said, I have a pair of tickets for Colored Girls. That's between now and the 19th during previews. I also have tickets, a pair of tickets to my girls from Second Stage, the new at the Tony Kaiser Theater with J. Armstrong Johnson and Britton Smith. And then Broadway Bazaar, who is our sponsor tonight, they've generously donated. You can choose a playbill or poster from each decade, so starting from the 50s through now. You can choose any playbill from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 20s for playbill and poster, and Michael will help you with that. So we've got some very exciting prizes. But with that, let's begin. I'm going to go this way so you can't see it. First question. Who starred as the witch in the 2002 revival of Into the Woods?
Vanessa Williams.
Yes, Vanessa Williams! Amazing, amazing. Well, congratulations. You get the Broadway Bazaar prize. So find Michael, and he'll help you get the playbills throughout the years and the posters. Fabulous. Okay. Number 2. This is going to be for the 2 pair of tickets for Colored Girls. And just find me, and I'll get your email, and we'll get them off to the Colored Girls team. What musical currently holds the record for the most expensive Broadway flop in history?
What does Spider-Man turn off the dark?
Spider-Man turn off the
Yes.
dark. Yes. We're not. It's okay. You don't have to say what is. We're not on Jeopardy. But I love the preparedness. But yes, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. It cost $75 million to capitalization to raise $75 million. I just read it. Lost, I think, $60 million. It's insane.
A fun fact.
Yeah.
There was actually, because I studied this, and I assume Carly. Well, I can't talk. Sorry. I assume Carly does too. I read somewhere that there was going to be like a gigantic spider web around the top of this meter that they would like do a giant fight on, but they couldn't get to work right in tech. It would cost like $10 million to keep. So it almost was even more expensive than it was.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. If you want to know more, obviously, about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, the writer actually wrote a book. I don't know if I forget his name, I think it was Glenn something. It's called Song of Spider-Man, or Song of Spider, and it details all of the issues of the drama. It's very interesting. So if you want to learn more about the biggest flop in Broadway history, that's that. All right, this next one is for the 2 pairs of the 2 tickets to My Girls, which again is off Broadway. So which musical has won the most Tony Awards? Which musical has won the most Tony Awards? The Producers! Yes, it has! Yes, it has! Yes, it has! Yes, it has! Here you are, my friend. To My Girls. So everything's on there for you to claim the tickets. You can just send the email there. Congratulations, congratulations. All righty. We have one more question. This is for the final Broadway Bazaar prize. All righty, here we go. What is the biggest theater on Broadway? What is the biggest theater on Broadway? Yeah, I was going to let you know in case anybody else had their hand raised.
Broadway?
On the Broadway theater?
Isn't it? No.
Nope.
The Winter Garden.
Not the Winter Garden. Nope. Close.
Justin.
Nope.
One farm? Wait, no.
Marquee?
Nope. Nope.
Palace.
It is the Gershwin.
What?
The
Oh.
Gershwin has 1,933 seats. It's the largest theater on Broadway. It's all right. We'll do one more. It's all right. We'll do one more. What musical currently holds the record for the most Tony nominations? Hamilton, that's right. Congrats, Joshua. So again, find Michael and you get the Broadway Bazaar prize. So congratulations. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Round of applause for our winners. Congratulations. Everyone's going home with some really great prizes. And find me and I'll get you the email for Colored Girls. And again, Broadway Bazaar, our sponsor, they are the first online market for unique Broadway memorabilia, one-of-a-kind souvenirs and handcrafted items. Popular items are Broadway ornaments, playbills, posters, show props, autographed souvenirs, Broadway theme party decorations, and so much more. You can visit BroadwayBazaar.net to shop, learn more, or simply visit the Broadway Makers Marketplace and see it here. So congratulations to all the winners. I love when my guests win. Congrats, Josh. So you're welcome. So during the pandemic, you streamed your off-Broadway musical, The Perfect Fit. How did that come about, streaming it? I know that was really talked about. It was really successful. You used, I think, also, was it Stellar you used the platform to stream it? I think so. Right?
Yeah.
It was an online platform to buy tickets and everything, right?
Yes,
Which was
yes.
sort of new at the time. So where did it come about to stream it?
So over the pandemic, we actually made The Perfect Fit we did an album of it featuring Laura and Nancy as one of the characters, and it was really, really cool. It was released by Broadway Records, and we really wanted to do something more with the show because we had done a production in 2019 at an international theater festival off Broadway, and we had the idea of doing a concert. So we did a concert version first at a really, really cool drive-in theater in Connecticut, and then we ended up doing a concert here at New World Stages. We live streamed it everywhere. It was really, really cool.
And I have to say, I love, and I'll have you explain, but I love the concept of how The Perfect Fit, like what it's about. I think it's really interesting, and you tell those who don't know what it's about.
So the Perfect Fit is about the ups and downs and twists and turns of being a child actor in New York City.
And one of the things that was interesting too about it is, I don't know if you all know this as a child actor, you're told there's, what is it called, the dead zone?
The dead zone.
Where
You're too tall to play a child, you're too young to play an adult, you're never right for anything. And that's what the show is. It's basically that.
And Joshua, being the genius, is the perfect fit, and that's why he wrote it. And what's the next steps for the perfect fit?
Stay tuned. We have some really, really fun things planned.
I can't wait. I'm super excited. So, the first time I actually saw you perform, Joshua, was off Broadway at Forbidden Broadway. That was so good. It was Forbidden Broadway: The Next Generation. What was your favorite part of doing that show? It's part of something so iconic. I have to say, my favorite song from that is the Judy Garland Renee Zellweger cover. I have it on my iPhone. I'm on my Spotify. I listen to it all the time. But what was your favorite part of being a part of Forbidden Broadway?
My favorite part, well, first of all, I love being part of the development process for it because we had the fun thing about Forbidden Broadway is that yes, we had songs written like Gerard Alstreet. He's amazing. He's Tony Moore. He writes all Forbidden Broadways. If you hear Forbidden Broadway lyric, that's him. He was in the show originally, like the original productions, but he hasn't been in a little bit, and I was so honored to have worked with him for something called Blondieland in 2016. It was like a musical parody. It was really, really fun. And then he asked us, hey, I'm thinking of doing another Forbidden Broadway. We may want to have a kid in it. Is John going to be? Now, obviously, my first response was yes, but because I grew up listening to Forbidden Broadway, and when going into rehearsals, we had lyrics, we had everything done, and the thing was, because Forbidden Broadway is about Broadway, it's constantly changing. We added things, we took away things, we added brand new songs. We took away songs, including the School Rock song, Garden Previews, which was that hurt because that was like one of my songs. But it was really ironically the day after we cut the School Rock song, Andrew Lloyd Webber shows up at the theater and sees the show. So I think that would be really funny. But I also, I think it was a Kelly O'Hara number at the previews originally, and they were actually, do you know what they replaced that with?
No, which one?
Judy Garland.
Oh my gosh. I would have loved to have heard the Kelly O'Hara one, but the Judy Garland is so iconic. It makes fun of, it's Judy making fun of Renee Zellweger. It's like called Zellweger Smells in My Heart, making fun of her and Tracy Bennett and all the people who try to make fun of and be Judy, and there's only one Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And also, there would be times where we change the lyrics mid-show, and we instantly, after the show, we go, okay, you know what, let's change this to a different lyric. And the thing about Broadway, you're always on your feet. You always, it's a very, you have to stay focused during the show, because if you don't, it's chaos. Because we're constantly putting changes and learning new lines and material. But that's the fun about it. It was such a fun, incredible show to be a part of and to win and to work with Gerard Ellison Dream. Gerard, he is probably one of the best people I have ever had the privilege of knowing. I think we talked about last week. He's the best. He is legitimately the best. And I'm really hoping that eventually he's another big Broadway.
Well, I'm sure you will. I mean, that is,
Oh yeah.
there's so much. Has anyone seen Forbidden Broadway at all, or know Forbidden Broadway? Listening to the music? Yeah. It's really good. So basically it spoofs Broadway musicals.
And every single Broadway show you
Yes. And they've done it throughout different generations. So this was the next generation. So this one had Moulin Rouge, Hamilton, Beetlejuice, all of that. And
I recently saw Moulin Rouge, and the entire time I was thinking, oh my gosh, Gerard is a genius. This is exactly what he wrote. Because I've never seen something it was a weird deja vu thing, because I'm like, this is so familiar. And Gerard, he understands Broadway in a way I don't understand. He's just a genius.
a true genius, and he does it all in good fun. It's it's all of the spoofing.
It's never making right. We're always poking fun at shows,
And it's all stuff
in a lighthearted sense.
Yeah.
But we're poking fun at them with love.
And it's all stuff that we already know of. So it's known stuff. Now, you said Angela River came to all the show. He came to the York Theater?
No, he came to the Triad.
Oh, it was a Triad. Wow. And did you get a chance to meet him?
I did. So I actually did a lab of one of his new shows in 2019. Or was it 2019? Was it 2018 or 2019? It was 2018. It was 2018. And he didn't remember me, which is really fun. I really do wish that we could have done the School Rock number. But here's the funny thing. It was it was when we were at the York mid-run, and we only had one understudy, and 2 people pulled out, which in Forbidden Broadway is just oh no, this is a 5-person cast. So we had to do a 5-person show with, I would say, with 4 people, and that's, we're everywhere, we're rushing to get stuff, we had to readjust cues, and it was 2 shows only, and it was like that. But for those 2 shows, we brought back the School of Rock number, which was so much fun. It was the final send-off to School of Rock, the show that I was never a part of, even though I played all the instruments.
That is amazing.
It was really, really fun.
And I love that Angela Weber remembered you. I mean, that is pretty cool. And I definitely see, I'm not psychic, but if I had to see my crystal ball, I see maybe a collaboration in the future with him or something. It's not the last time you're going to see him or be in his orbit, I can tell you that for sure. I mean, really. Well, look at the Bridgerton girls. I mean, so he loves fostering the youth and the talent. So, Now, you're also a TikTok viral star. Listen to this. And the kids today, I don't know, God bless them. 3.6 million likes on TikTok, 101.5 thousand followers. This was the last time I looked, so it could be more. Wow, this is a whole lot. So what do you like most about TikTok, and what is the key as a performer or someone in this industry to quote unquote mastering it?
So one of the things I love about TikTok is that it is constantly changing, and something that may be doing well one week is not doing so well the next week because it's no longer trending. Trends come and go so quickly on TikTok, just like our attention spans. So you have to, like, one of the things with me after doing TikToks, you just keep it short. You keep it short because no one's going to watch. TikTok just unveiled a 10-minute video feature, which, listen, I can barely make it through like a 2-minute video, let alone a 10-minute video on TikTok. But I think that the 10-minute video feature is going to allow for so many people to create brand new content that's never before seen on TikTok. It's like a new type of media in a way. It's really, really cool. One of my favorite parts about TikTok, though, as well, is that it gets an immediate reaction. When you post music, at least for me, it gets immediate reaction. You're able to see how people like it. It's really the trying ground for new music and material, which is really, really cool.
It is, and you have quite the following and the fans, so that's got to be great to connect with them on there and sort of get their input and stuff on there. And also with TikTok, to what we're seeing in the industry, in music theater, it's really made a splash. And you was talking about Beetlejuice earlier. Beetlejuice, in the beginning, wasn't doing too well. Then TikTok, it was one of the first musicals to blow up on TikTok, and because of the TikTok, listen, man, it's not like old man. But because of TikTok, it's what it is today.
Yeah, that's truly the power of TikTok, though, because there are so many shows that have started through TikTok. I know First Person did. There's a couple new ones now. Some that I actually have to work on. There was an Avatar: The Last Airbender musical, parody musical. We're not doing it anymore, but it did start on TikTok and it got like in total like millions of views, which was really cool. And yeah, it's definitely a really great platform.
It definitely is, and the sky's the limit. Now on this talk of TikTok, there's also, I know, another platform that I've heard you talk about, Discord.
Yeah.
Discord you are big about, and if you follow him on TikTok, you've seen, in fact, I was laughing earlier, saying his parents did a video saying, join his Discord, and that's all he talks about. So what is Discord, what is the part of it, what is it gain, what do you gain from it?
Think Facebook groups, but for Gen Z. Mm-hmm. That's literally all Discord is, except like you're not posting random minions. It's more like, at least for my Discord, it's more of a music-oriented place where musical theater fans can talk and listen to my music and share some of their own stuff. And it's a really, really fun place. We actually just got partnered with Discord, which is really cool. Apparently, I didn't know this. They give you a free hoodie when you're partner. So my free hoodie just came. It's so nice.
We love free merch. We love a free hoodie.
We love a free hoodie.
Wow, that is awesome. And they partnered with you for your show?
Partnership is like verification.
Oh, verification. Okay.
Which is it's really cool. We have almost 4,000 members on it now, which is like 4,000 active members who are like talking, which is really cool. And that also allows for me to try out new music before it gets on TikTok, which that allows me to iron out everything about it, make sure that it is how I want it and that other people like it as well.
And where can we follow this Discord? Is it an app? Is it a website? What's your Discord?
It is an app and website. My link is discord.gg/Joshua Turchin.
Okay, amazing. Well, if you're on Discord and everything, join. It sounds really exciting, and I guess it's also a good way to collaborate too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, I assume that you meet people that you can collaborate with. Maybe if you're not in the same area, you can have that openness, and I feel like it sounds like it's different than Zoom, where it sounds a little bit more probably like in real time, and maybe not that delay you have in sort of the virtual stuff there. Do you find that collaborating?
Oh yeah. Music-wise, definitely. That's how I talk to most of my friends and collaborate with them. We're able to share information regarding sheet music and audio files really quickly. It's actually how I met some of my closest friends now through Discord, which is really cool. Yeah, it truly allows for people on the other side of the world to talk to people. Because one of my friends who lives in the United Kingdom, but there's like no delay through communication, which is really, really cool. And we're able to send each other music things or things that could work well with songs and things like that.
It's really cool. Well, aside from, we talked a lot about your music and everything, and as we said, you're a multi-hyphenate. One of the others, and you're also a multi-hyphenate, is acting, you're an actor, singer. And acting-wise, you've done quite a bit, both on stage, but also on camera. You were just recently seen in, if you saw, anybody watches Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, you may have seen Josh in the most recent season. What is it about TV acting that is so different than theater, and how do you differentiate? I ask this because it's always so fascinating to me. I remember years ago when I used to thought I would be in the business in acting, and it was always the critique I always got was, theater is you have to project to be out there for the audience members back. TV and film is very up close. So
yeah, because TV is up close, it's much smaller, and also like in the theater, you would do something like this, you make yell. In theater's like you would do something like this. It's much more intimate with the camera, which is I found really interesting. And also with TV and film, you can do as many takes as you need. For theater, you have one chance a night. Sometimes two. But that's really the main difference, because theater, the show must go on, and for TV and film, it's like the show must be perfect. So that's pretty much.
And that is really interesting, and it must be perfect. The show must be perfect, but obviously you have so many takes to do that. But that sounds like much more pressure, though, because it has to be perfect, otherwise it won't air. So I'm curious, what would your advice be as a young performer to kids your age, younger kids who want to get into the business and break into the business? What would the advice you give to them, and what advice would you give to parents as well as kids who are maybe interested and maybe they are a little apprehensive of them joining, or they're not discouraging, but they maybe aren't as supportive? What would your advice be for both of those? So first the kids and then the parents.
So for the kids, do what you love to do. What my parents would say is that if you do what you love to do, you will never work a day in your life, and that's really true. So if you want to pursue theater, I'd say to pursue it. For parents, thankfully I had really supportive parents, and they really helped me on the actual journey. But for parents, please be supportive of your kids, because if they seem to be really passionate about doing it from a really young age, it's probably what they're going to end up doing. That's what usually happens with theater, at least.
It does, and you do have very supportive parents. Even just being here, they're wonderful and very, very lucky. I think that's great, and I feel like we're seeing more. I feel like in today's world with social media, there is sort of more of a platform for the younger generation, anyone really, to sort of become that, because they can, let's say, release their own web series, or they can release their own, create a web blog, or do more on Instagram. So I feel like in that way, maybe it's a little bit more accessible, but it's still, now you have a great group of young friends in the industry. Did you all sort of just meet because you all are child actors or children actors, or?
So what I always like to say to people is that there's a hidden world of Broadway kids. If you go to a Broadway kid and ask if they know another Broadway kid, the answer will most likely always be yes. I have had several friends who we each have this one person who we all know, the incredible Lex Santa. She knows several of my friends, and for most of them, I don't know how, but she's usually the mutual friend that we all have in common. And also, a lot of us know each other from dance, which is really, really, really cool. And that's how I know some of my closest friends, like Audrey Bennett.
I mean, that is just incredible. I mean, so many great things. And what would a dream role of yours be if you haven't already played it or portrayed it? Do you have a dream role?
Evan Hansen.
Oh, I see that in your future for sure. Yes, Evan Hansen for sure. You see that? I can see it. Yeah, dear Evan Hansen. Hey, you know what? I mean, look, Andrew Barth Feldman was one of the youngest Evans when he started, and so it's possible.
Yeah, it very much is. Hopefully, yeah.
Well, that's great. And one of the other things is you're also either getting ready to or have started school at NYU, right? That's he's 15, right? 15, I'm getting that right? And he's starting NYU. He's 15 and he's starting NYU. That is incredible. So what are you going to be majoring in?
Well, I'm going to Gallatin.
Yeah, Gallatin.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is Gallatin?
So Gallatin is a school at NYU where you're able to pick your focus. So I'm studying, or I want to study musical composition and psychology.
I love that. And where did the psychology part come in? You just always interested in that end of it?
Yeah, I just always been interested in that end of it.
That is really, really cool. And so do you start in the fall?
Yeah, I started in the fall. Ironically, someone who works at the Broadway Makers Marketplace currently also goes to NYU in Gallatin.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, NYU is a great school, so that's awesome. And are you looking forward to it? Are you apprehensive?
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's great. I love their, I don't own it, but I love their merchandise. You always see like the purple with the NYU on it. It's exciting. That's what. Are you going to get involved in any of the plays and stuff they do there?
I think maybe, I'm not sure yet though. I hope.
I love that. And what is your favorite musical at the current moment? Whether it's on Broadway or not on Broadway, what is your favorite musical at the moment?
Okay, so it's now a tie between Once and 35 millimeters, the musical. It's a song cycle, and it's so good. And Alex Brightman was in it, Lindsay Mendez. It's really good.
Those are great. I did not expect that, especially 35 millimeters. I haven't heard of that one in ages. Wow, that's amazing. Well, Josh, as we finish up here, where can we keep up with you? Where can we follow you? And what is next?
You can follow me on all major social media platforms at Joshua Turchin. Next, stay tuned because I have some really fun stuff planned.
You do, and so we can see everything on
on
their social media.
Yeah, I post everything on there regarding my new stuff.
Amazing. Well, Joshua, thank you so much for being a guest today. As I said to you, I appreciate it so much. I know how busy you are and being here all day already for your podcast and doing this. I'm so honored to talk to you. We could go all night. I want to have you back because you have so much more coming up and there's so much more to talk about. So give Joshua a round of applause, everyone. And thank you, everyone, the Broadway Makers Marketplace. Thank you again to the Broadway Makers Marketplace for continuing to make the show a reality and landing it in a new home for fans, by fans, and protecting the integrity of the show. And I'm so excited to continue to keep up with me at Rye_Myers on social media for announcements of the guests each week. I have some great guests coming up, including Annalise Scarpacci from Mrs. Doubtfire, and so many more. Fergie Philippe from Hamilton is coming. So keep an eye out, and I'm here every Sunday around 6:30, around that general time. We're still working it out, but come on down, we'll be here. I'm so excited. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. Take care, be well.
Where can you see Broadway's brightest live? White Scream Thursday nights, drunk in a dive. They're friends with Rye.